Well, good morning, students, and or good morning, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're listening to this. This is week 10. Welcome back to week 10 of IT 1010. We're wrapping this up. There's just a little bit of this class left. It goes by so fast. Okay, so there were a lot of historical fun facts this week. I'm going to just touch on a couple of them. I mean, they're really interesting. I wish this were a face to face class. Okay, so 140 years ago, Monday the 29th. Vilgot T. Odner was granted a patent for a calculating machine that performed multiplications and repeated additions. That was 1878. So once you find out that you can get wheels to do things and calculate things, that's the step to what was needed for the computer that you have right now. In 1945, 73 years ago on Halloween, the first conference on digital computer technique was held at MIT. And this is the Whirlwind team that attended it. 1945. These are all important steps. Let's move forward. So, yes, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket and think that a computer is going to do everything the right way. In 2005, which was, 13 years ago, I can do that in my head. There was a software glitch that halted the Tokyo Stock Exchange. If you remember back to, this was on, what's the first? Thursday. If you remember back to Word Chapter 2, when you had to do the library assignment, there was a part where you had to look for either or, not this, if or whatever. So it's called Boolean. Okay, so that's actually named by a guy named Boole. George Boole was born in 1815. So that I can do that in my head. 203 years ago on Thursday. So George Boole was the creator of a mathematical logical system that bears his name. So he was the chair of mathematics in 1848. I just read that. So this is the guy that it defines logic statements. So this is what we need when we're sorting and doing databases. If you look at the school schedule, I want to take philosophy classes not at Montoya or not at Rio Rancho, but at Maine or West Side, or not on Monday and Wednesday, but on Tuesday and Thursday. This is the guy who started that. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Boole, and happy birthday. There was this guy here. I think I remember him from something. 1916, Adrian. Oh, it was right up here. Vingarden was a leader in programming linguistics. Oh, hot dog. Very good. Well, happy birthday to you too. All right, but the one I'm going to concentrate on is this one right here. This one is the one I want. 2018, 1937. I cannot do math in my head. 81 years ago on Saturday. I can't see that far. Howard Aiken from Howard University wrote a letter to IBM to start a discussion on an automatic calculating machine for use in computing physical problems. This would lead to the creation of the Harvard Mark I, the 51 feet long, 8 feet high, and 5-ton giant brain. This was a big deal. If you were in my face-to-face class, I keep threatening you with that. Excuse me. If you were in my face-to-face class, we would be talking about this because I recap a book about how this came to be. So happy 81st anniversary to that. So that's what's going on for your historical fun facts. There's a lot going on this week. All right, very cool. All right, this week, let me go. I've got a lot open here, so kind of bear with me where we're going. So this week we're in Module 10. You have two things to do. I'm already in the module because I started this video once and messed it up. So, all right. So when you go into the module, I moved the attendance journal to the top. Make sure you come back and do that because all you have to do is watch these videos and then go to my IT lab and do that, and you'll close it out and not come back and do attendance, and then that's going to cause problems. All right, so make sure you do the attendance journal. Excuse me. Even if you just tell me, I'm looking forward to learning how to do a chart. Okay, I don't care. Just check in. Say something in here. I learned that it's cold in the fall. Anything. Make sure you post to the attendance journal. Now, there's some things that you're going to learn this week. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. I'm going to show them to you that are actually kind of fun. Where do I go? How do I do this? All right, let's go to, I'm going to open up the instructions, but the next thing I'm going to open is, I think this is it. Okay, so this is the final results. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. All right. So this is what your final, this is the final result. This is what yours should look like. Okay. So you're going to insert a pie chart. Yay. Okay. I like pie. Okay. Now this is what your worksheet is going to look like. So there's some things to it that I want to show you. First of all, if you see these little, okay, they're, hashtags, number symbols, that kind of thing, it means that the column is too narrow and it just needs to be widened by clicking right here. This came out kind of poorly because if you see it says location, location, location. So I'm going to open up, this is the starter file. So here are some things that you need to do. I'm going to enable editing. All right. All right, very cool. Okay, so location total. So these are all by location, right? So to do the total, you just click on this. And hey, do you want to total C2 through C3? Yes. Right? Then what do you want to do? You want to total across. You get the little hashtags and you go across this way. Okay. So let me show you what that is. If you make one of these two, see how it all turns to that? There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean your calculations are wrong necessarily. It just means that the column is too narrow and you need to widen it so that the numbers show. All right. Now, if you remember your math, I'm sorry. This is math. So they want to know the average. Do you remember how to calculate the average? Okay. Average is where you take all these, you total, and you divide by the number of numbers. So what were there? 12? Okay. So we would take this total, 63,549. Let me see if I'm doing this right. And divide it by 12. So it should be 52,95.75. But how do we do that? You don't have to do that. If you go up here and you click on this little down arrow and you say, hey, I want average. All right. Now watch out because you don't want to include the total, right? But you want it to be in C15, but you don't want to include the total. D2 to D13. No. How did it change? We want C2 to C13, right? You want the average of those. And it picks it. It rounded it up to 5296. So it just does it automatically. This is the most amazing program. I love Excel. I use it all the time. All right. Now, we want to get the maximum. So the maximum is which out of these is the largest number. And I want to put it right here. Go back up here and say, what is the max number? Well, now look, it picks this up. You don't want the 15. If I hit backspace, it's going to take them all out. Yes, it is. C2 to C13. There's the biggest number right there. All right. And what is the smallest? Because these are sales, right? So then you do the same thing, only you pick min for minimum, and we still want it to be 13. And what's the minimum? All right, pretty cool. Then, what do you have to do? Drag. I can't remember now if it goes to the total. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it ends right there. Why don't I look and see? Oh, yeah, it doesn't include the total. Okay, so don't go that far. All right, now you have to do this calculation. And this will be on the Excel conclusion that you have to do in a couple of weeks, okay? So they want you to calculate this number right here. So this number is 26,495 times 3.65%, 967.07. Okay, very good. All right, so now how do you do that? Okay, it's very simple. You know how to do that. Okay. Oops. It's dark in here. Let me turn the light on. Hang on one second. Okay, very good. All right, so equal G 2 times B 19, right? Very good. That is exactly correct. However, it's correct for that one. If you drag this down, it's not going to be correct. So what you have to do on one of these, I always pick this one. On either side, whoops, not DS, put a $sign on either side of the letter. Okay? It does not change the number. It does not change the number. Okay? What it does is it says, let me change it to show you a different way. Bear with me. I'm going to put it on G2 because it will make more sense if I do it this way. All right. See, it didn't change the number. The number is still the same. You're taking G2 times B19. All right. What this means is when you drag this down, you're not dragging down this number. It's going to make this the absolute value. Okay? Because on this one, you want it to be G3 times B19 and G4 and G5. And if you drag it, it's not going to do that. So you have to put the $signs. You can do it on either one, but you have to put $signs on either side of the letter on one of them, not on both. And then when you do your drag down, oh, come on. Maybe it's the other one. Holy Toledo. Maybe it is the other one. I've been teaching this for 6 years. You'd think I would know this by now. All right. There we go. It is. It is that one. See, we learned something new today. I thought it was on one of them. So you have to do it on either side of this one. The $sign goes on that. So it takes the absolute value of the interest times each of these. Because now when you go here, see, this is G2, G3. See up here? Watch where it changes. G4, G5, G6. So it has to be on that. I just learned something new today. I thought it had to be on either one. All right, very cool. Sorry for the hiccup, but that's how you do it. So this is where you learn. It's called absolute value. So you don't want to take it and drag it down on G2. You want the absolute value on each of these. So it takes G3, G4, G5, C. Okay, so that's how you do that. So those are the things that you need to do on that. Let me go back to your those are those. Don't worry about this. It just means that the column wasn't wide enough. Open them up. It'll give you instructions on how to do the how to set the widths of the columns and everything like that. And then you do a chart, and then you do a pie chart. Okay, so that is what you do. So this week, Excel Chapter 2 and attendance journal. And happy anniversary to all those people. All right, as always, if you have questions or problems, let me know through messages. I am happy to help. I've gotten some messages from some people, and I'm happy to help. We've gotten some things figured out. So I hope you have a great week. Be safe. If you celebrate Halloween, happy. If you get a lot of candy, take care judiciously. Don't overdo it. Okay? All right. Have a good one and a great week, and I will talk to you next time. All right. Bye-bye.